Alright, hello everyone, it is I, your boy Skinny D. And as you could tell by the title, we're going to be doing an in-depth look on the Cayo Perico Nerf. And then I'm going to be stating what I believe is the best way to make money. And this is not necessarily actually the best way to make money, it's just a bit of a theory I have. So don't quote me on if this is the best way to make money. I'm not actually a money grinder, so you shouldn't believe me about this, but you can believe me on the Cayo Perico Nerf, as a lot of research has been done. So there'll be timestamps on the bottom in the description and a pinned comment if you want to figure out, you know, or if you want to just skip ahead. So I'm going to do a bit of a introduction. So as we all know, December of 2020, I believe, was the introduction of the Cayo Perico heist. A new heist no one really expected. A submarine in Grand Theft Auto Online. Not so out of place with a game with flying, flying bikes and everything. But at the time, it was a bit of a weird thing. The heist was good. Then it became really good. People would start grinding it and grinding it and grinding it, and eventually the economy would break. Grand Theft Auto 5 probably recorded its lowest sales in shark cards, while also recording a high in shark cards with new players, but then noticing shark card sales were dipping due to the Cayo Perico heist, which led to its first nerf in July 2021. The Cayo Perico gets nerfed by its primary targets lowering down in price. That's about it. A bit of a longer cooldown was implemented, where instead of waiting about 1 in-game hour, you would wait 1 in-game day, so about 48 minutes. But people still found it and abused it. Then, 2022. Oh, sorry. The same year, the contract gets released in December 2021. The Cayo Perico gets nerfed once again. This time, a bit of a harsh one. The contract makes it about a 2-hour wait, I believe it originally was. So not too bad, but still a pretty long wait. July that year, a new update comes out. CIA update. A new method was implemented by Rockstar. A 3-hour cooldown for doing solo. An insane time for the money you'd make. About 1.1 million to 1.2 million. Mercenaries update. No, sorry, Drug Wars update. Rockstar implements maybe an accidental or on purpose nerf. There's nothing has really been said, where bodies can now be spotted, making it harder to do with a team. But the other nerf was pushing to make it towards a team, as it was a lower cooldown time if you did it with a team. The Mercenaries update. Nothing happens for quite a while, until September this year. In less than 3 years of the Cayo Perico being in the game, it had been nerfed quite a lot. It had lost originally about 44% or 40% of what it was making per 4 hours. Now you're only making about 1.1 million to 1.2 million. Originally you're making about 4.4 million to 4.6 mil per 4 hours. The no nerf. Cayo Perico primary targets get nerfed by 30%, except the Madrazo files and Pink Diamond Secondary targets get nerfed by 20% except gold. It's happening. Rockstar, it finally happened. Rockstar kills Cayo Perico. Videos are made. A lot of videos are posted. But no one looks into it. No one looks into how much each target is worth, including the secondary targets, until a relatively small channel with 38 subs comes along and does research and figures it out to a pretty accurate extent. That's me, sir. Now that the introduction of all the nerfs are out of the way, let's get into what we're here for, the new pricing, of course. So we're going to list them in order of, and this has all been calculated on normal, so here we go. Systemino Tequila. The old price was 900,000. The new price, 630,000. That's a loss of 270,000. Ruby necklace. The old price was 1 million. It's lost 700,000. Obviously, it's a 30% decrease, so that's 300,000. Ruby, the beta bonds gets a decrease of 330,000. So the new price is 770,000, since the old price was 1.1 million. Now, pink diamond stays the same, but the chances of getting pink diamond significantly drop if you do more than 2 Kayas per 3 days, as the chances that you get Systemino Tequila actually increase to about 60%, where the others drop to about 15%, I believe. So, but that's obvious. What isn't so obvious is the secondary targets. Now, you may be wondering, how could you calculate that? Well, I just got a source off Sports Kiada with what the old prices were. I had to make sure, because then my research would have been for nothing. Well, so what is the old prices? Well, there's 2 old prices listed on the website for each target. So we'll begin with Cash. Cash had an old price of 78,480, and then there's a squiggly to 89,420. What I believe this means is that you could get anywhere between those two, minimum being the 78,480 and the maximum being 89,420. With the 20% decrease of these targets, you lose 15,696 to 17,884. So it means with Cash you're making, with the new price of Cash being 62,784 at the minimum and 71,536 at the maximum. So you don't even make the minimum for the old price. You are making about $7,000 less with the maximum old price and the maximum new price, than you were with the minimum old price. Weed is next, as its old price was 145,000 being the minimum, and the maximum you could get 149,265, and anywhere between those two. With the 20% decrease, that's a loss of 29,196 to 29,853. So that's the new price of 116,784 at the minimum to a maximum of 119,412, which is nowhere close to the original minimum price. That is quite a big difference between the minimum old price and the new max price. Now we move into paintings, since they make the next amount of money. You would make old pricing of 176,220 at the minimum to a maximum of 199,700. With the 20% decrease, that's a loss of 35,240 to 39,940. 240s, wow, that's quite a good thing to have. No, it isn't. The new price means it's 140,960 to 159 being the minimum, sorry, and 159,760 being the maximum you can get, which means that your new pricing is about the same as getting weed at its old price. So that's not too bad. But what's insane is the cocaine. So when you would steal El Rubio's cocaine, you could make anywhere from 220,500 being the minimum to 225,000. With the 20% loss, of course, you lose 44,100 to 45,000. That means you can make a new minimum price of 176,400 to 180,000. Which is roughly the same as the old painting. Gold has no loss, but gold you do with a team. So solo, it doesn't particularly matter since you can't get gold. But the gold has a pricing of 328,584 at the minimum to a maximum of 333,192. The safe has also been capped to 20,000, where the original cap was 50,000. This is all on normal, so that's a decrease of $30,000. So, what does this mean earning-wise? Well, you go from about 1.1 million to 1.2 million per 4 hours to making about 1 million per 4 hours. Unless you get System No Tequila with cash, then you're making only about 900k per 4 hours, which is not worth the time to do. As we now move into the next category, what is the best way to make money solo and with a group? Well, to make money solo would be the contract. The contract makes about 1.1 million per 2 hours. To bump it up to the Cayo Perico's perspective of the per 4 hours, that's 2.2 million per 4 hours, where Cayo is making roughly 900,000 to 1 million. So that's a 1.2 million increase to the maximum, to the average amount of Cayo Perico. The contract is a set unless you get it some on normal, where you make about 1.2 million. So it's 1.1 million to 1.2 million per 2 hours. So that's about 2.2 million to 2.4 million per 4 hours. That would. So, would the contract be the best way to make money solo, or would other stuff? Well, yes. If you don't want anybody's help, then yes, it is probably the best way to make money solo. If you want people's help, but you want all the money to go to you, then I would say air freight or cargo would be the best way to make money for yourself while also being in a group of people. And they earn about $10,000 to $20,000 per delivery because of the CEO thing. Now, what if you want all of your group to make money? What is the best method? Well, you could still do a Cayo Perico and just hope for pink diamond and gold, but you're not going to get it, and it's hard to calculate the average between the group because of the different cuts. If you split it 50-50, you're making about 500,000, and so on and so on. If you split it 25-25, you can just divide the cut by whatever percentage. So if you do 15%, so that's 150,000 for you, and give your mate 85% of the cut. That's 850,000 for him. If you make $1 million. So, I would actually say it's between the casino heist and Bogdan if you want to do it quickly. If you don't care about quickness, then I would chuck the Doomsday Part 3 in, since that makes about 1.1 million ish. I'm not actually certain. I haven't done the Part 3 in quite a while, where I know Bogdan makes about 1.1 million, I think it's 1 million to 1.1 million. So Bogdan and the casino would be your best options to make money for a group. To do solo, I'd recommend either Cargo if you want a group to help you, or if you're going to be fully solo, I'd recommend the contract. So what can we conclude from this? Well, we can conclude that Rockstar... What are my thoughts on Rockstar doing this? I could see why they would nerf it, but at the same time, I can't see why. Because that 4 hours made it balanced. Yes, people were speedrunning it, but that's going to be a part of the game. Speedrunning is a part of a game experience, unfortunately. You make a game, people are going to speedrun certain parts of the game. With online, people speedrun heist. Ranging from the old gen heist, the really old gen heist, as an Xbox 360 heist, to Doomsday heist, to the Cayo Perico heist. People are going to speedrun the heist because it makes the game fun. Rockstar killing Cayo Perico means they are killing one aspect that makes the game fun, and that is going to be the people that are speedrunning it to make, well, either to get world records, but now people just probably don't want to put the time in, you know? Because they go, I put all this time in to speedrunning to get a world record, and I make, what, 1 million on average. That's nothing. Now, I used to do Cayo Perico speedrunning before I became pretty popular in the Grand Theft Auto community, so I do know a bit about the Cayo Perico speedrunning. The new strategies are crazy compared to the old strategies. Old strategies, you just which is, you know, understandable. Just old strategies are going to be worthless compared to new strategies. Could Rockstar possibly rework the Cayo Perico? Yes, they could. What they could do is increase the secondary target's price while keeping... So, increase it to where you make, let's say, I don't know, 2 million would be a good thing to make per 4 hours. That's worth your time. Yeah, 2 million per 4 hours is pretty good. It's nothing compared to the contract, but that at least you're getting good money for putting in 4 hours. Well, an hour's of work and 4 hours of 3 hours of waiting. So, you know. So, or what they could do, get the time, nerf it back to 1 hour to make it viable on why the price is so low. Because 1 million per 1 hour is honestly more viable than 1 million per 4 hours. Yeah, or 1 million per 2 hours, sorry, because of an hour taken to complete the heist, roughly, and an hour wait. That's a viable reason to, you know, want to play the game. But the new thing Rockstar's done with the nerf just makes Cayo Perico unviable in any situation. They've fully killed it. Now, did Rockstar intend this? 100%. Rockstar has intended to kill the heist fully, as they wouldn't have accidentally put a nerf in of 30% with the primary targets. You have to be conscious to do that. Well, Rockstar's never really conscious when they're making ideas, so it doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, that's just an in-depth look on the Cayo Perico's nerf. and what I believe is the best way to make money in Grand Theft Auto Online. What is my sources? I'm a rank 910 with 102 million currently. So I'd say I'm pretty with about 3,800 with over 3,800 hours in the game. So I'd say I'm more than a pretty reliable source when it comes to online and all the research I put into this video. I want to thank you if you've watched this far, and even if you've skipped to the parts where I'm ranting. Skipped over the parts where I'm ranting. Thank you for even watching the video in the first place. It's much appreciated if you leave a like, and if you're new, to subscribe, but don't really have to. Doesn't bother me. I've got a full-time job anyway, so YouTube's just the side hobby anyway. But I would like to turn this into something viable to put my time into. So thank you guys once again for watching. Peace.